Sociology is the study of society at a group level, so you're really looking at how your membership of particular groups in society impacts on your individual life.
Up to the 1950s, people argued that psychology was not the study of the mind, it was the study of behaviour. And the idea was that you could only actually really understand something by studying behaviour and thoughts, and ideas behind that were irrelevant. It was only the likes of Freud who actually brought in the concept of studying the dusty attic of our brains, and where he sort of layered the id, the ego and the superego as ideas of understanding ourselves.
Psychology is really about the individual level and what goes on in the individual's head. Sociology is really about how a lot of those things get put in the head in the first place by our upbringing within a particular culture and society.
Sociology is the behaviour applied to populations. There are fields of overlap which we actually covered during the GCSE, where you study social psychology, which is how people behave in crowds. Why do people conform? Why do people actually change their answers to questions to conform with a whole? And we don't realise just how much herd animals we are until we actually study that sort of thing.
Well, anything in the social sciences, so in terms of courses at the college, for example, if you're going to do health and social care, you'd be covering sociology. Any of the access courses, any job that requires you to take a sort of overview of social inequalities and to understand the impact that those have.
I would say it mainly is a key to accessing further study, because we cover psychology on the Access Diploma. We also cover psychology in the upcoming forensics qualification. And I think the major thing is the life skills of understanding people. We have had students who work as salespeople, trying to work out how to apply the different methodologies of social psych, etc., to their selling technique.
I think a lot of the students really enjoy society, culture and the individual, because that is all about those rules. Why do we conform? What happens if you don't conform? How do we learn to be members of our society?
Memory is fascinating because Loftus and Palmer tell us that memory not only lies, but we aid it and abet it in lying. Eyewitness testimony is one of the biggest things that we use in our legal system, and yet Loftus and Palmer proved it is unreliable 80 to 90% of the time.
Because it's just a fascinating subject. It's all around you all the time. I mean, if you watch the news, if you read a newspaper, if you have any interest at all in current affairs, it's all impacted by sociology.
You should study psychology for the study of understanding other people and yourself.